Hi, my name's Jeff and today I'm going to show you how to fix sticky aperture blades on your Carl Zeiss 135mm sonar. If you've got one of these lenses and when you turn your aperture ring and it makes a clicking noise but the aperture blades don't open and close, then this is what you do. So first of all you need is a screwdriver that's big enough to fit on these screws, and I just have a thin one, which I'll explain why you need this in a minute. You might need a few cotton buds, a pair of clean gloves, and here I use electrical contact cleaner. That comes in handy, especially with this little tiny straw thing. And before you start anything, I cut 2 pieces of tape to tape on the tape over here. And the reason why I do this is once you've taken those 3 screws out and you start lifting this back lid, you don't want these 3 back sections to separate, because that will give you a lot of hassle, especially if you're not familiar with servicing or tampering with lenses. So by having those tapes here, when you lift the back cover off, that comes off in one piece, so jobs are good. So it's quite a simple process, shouldn't take you that long. So what you're doing here is put your gloves on. You look like a bit of a doctor. Put your gloves on. Right. What you do is, actually you can do the front part first. So what you do is you lift the sleeve up, turn it around, locate a little tiny hole with a grub screw in it. So if I'm using the appropriate sized screwdriver, gentle force, don't take it all the way out, just turn a few turns until it clears, until it unlocks, and then you'll find that you'll be able to turn this little tiny holder, and this little ring separates. And now for the front lens block, all you do is hold it firmly, give it a little twist, that comes out. So when you put this down, just take care. It should be quite safe anyway. And then turn this around. I mean, you might want to put it down on the table to do, so just turn it gently, using a lot of concentration. Make sure your screwdriver doesn't slip. I've magnetised the end of my screwdriver so you can lift the screws out. Comes in handy. And what you do is do the same with this one. Oh, I forgot to mention, before you take the rear cap off, make sure you have it in A mode, the switch, and click your aperture to f22. So A mode, aperture 22, before you stick the stickers down. Okay, and then fast forward again, taking the last 3 screws out. I mean, if you're not sure and you've never done these lenses before, you might want to make notes or take photos so you know, so you can backtrack and see what you did. And this part will carefully lift out. And when you lift out, you've got like a little tiny sleeve where this little rod, where there's a rod inside. I mean, you'll find out like now. There's a little rod and there's a little tiny arm here. Those correspond with the underside of the cap. So when you reassemble it, make sure the rod and the little tiny lever are in the right position, that little arm slots snugly in the little curve, in the groove here. And then obviously the little rod slides into the sleeve. So you put the rod into the sleeve and the little flipper into the groove, slide it down gently, and that will be how you seat the back cover into place before screwing the 3 screws down. So lift it gently while observing what's going on. Put that to one side, and then that's the rear element. There's just one lens in a little tiny protective tube, so that just unscrews off. Because we're only dealing with cleaning the stuck blades, so I'm not going to go into the cleaning elements. So that lifts off, and then leave that next door. Right, this is the nitty gritty. So, like I said before, you've got your aperture, you've got your switch onto A, and then you've already clicked the aperture ring to F22. So what happens now is, holding this in your hand, you'll be toggling this little tiny rod back and forth, and it doesn't do anything. Okay, that's fine. The little flipper switch, you can see my aperture blades, they move. Well, they didn't move before when I did this. So what you do is get some cleaning electrical contact cleaner, give it a little shake, spray generously around the aperture blade area. You might want to do the same a little bit around there. And then this little rod, swing it away from the arm. And swing it away from the arm. Push the flipper. Okay, so at the moment your aperture blades won't move, but you've already sprayed some electrical contact cleaner inside. And then you might want to give it a little wipe around, gentle wipe. And then holding that little flipper down with this little rod away from the flipper. If you look into the same areas where the flipper is, you'll see a little bit of aperture blade exposed. So while that springing flipper is pushed down that way, using a very thin screwdriver head, just push the edge of the aperture blade assembly, and you'll find that the blades will kind of start to close. So while holding that little flip in that position, you might want to get your cotton buds and start cleaning it and applying more electrical contact cleaner, and repeat the process while holding the flipper down, and then using a thin screwdriver, keep nudging the edge of the aperture blades. So you'll find that they'll gradually close a bit more, and as you keep cleaning both sides gently, especially this side, make sure you don't poke the cotton bud through, cleaning both sides and repeating the same process. I don't know if you can see it here, the little tiny, there's just one little notch here where you can see the edge of the aperture blade. So holding that down, making sure that it's swung down this way, that way, push the flipper, nudge the side of the aperture blade, spray, clean, test it, nudge, and just repeat that process. And you might want to use clean cotton buds with some contact cleaner on it, just to clean the blade so there's no streak marks and stains. And then if you've got a little tiny lens blower, you might want to just give it a gentle puff on both sides, just dry it out before assembling everything else in place, because you don't want any moisture or anything that's not dried yet. So assuming that you've got that susted, having that in that position, you want to screw this little piece back on. Just hold on to the edge, just get a little firm screw, that's all you need. And that little tiny slot for the rod, like so, and then watch the slot for the rod, and then the little tiny flipper rest inside the groove and push it down until it slots in positively. Put the 3 screws in. But for you, I'll put this down here. Put it firmly, line it up. Don't tighten one all the way yet. Work on each of the screws. And then just make sure you don't slip or scratch the back. Turn and give a little tiny, that's all you need. Tighten a little bit more. Right, and that's it. So that's the back side done. For the front, before you put this piece back on, you might want to use your blow brush to blow around the lens to get rid of any dust. Same for inside here. And then you might want to raise that bit. Hold that side firmly. And just a gentle firm turn. Do the same with that. You might want to turn it back and forth just to make sure you don't strip the thread. So once you get the feel, you can turn it all, screw it all the way down. Just got a little tiny pull. Using a screwdriver, locate that little tiny hole and just screw it back in. And then just peel off the 2 pieces of tape, and hey presto, there we go. And you can press the little tiny aperture pin on the back, and there we go, it works. I mean, this was stuck before, but I've already solved it. Thinking in hindsight I should have left it for the video, but there we go. Thank you very much. I hope this helps.